Gaza's waterfront property. It could be very valuable to if people would focus on kind of building up livelihood. It's a little bit of an unfortunate situation there, but I think from Israel's perspective, I would do my best to move the people out and then clean it up. But I don't think that Israel has stated that they don't want the people to move back there afterwards.
That was Jared Kushner speaking with Harvard University's Middle East Initiative last year. And his comments were strikingly similar to what we heard from President Trump Tuesday about the U.S. taking over and rebuilding Gaza. Kushner is, of course, the president's son-in-law who took a leading role on Middle East policy during the first Trump administration. Let's bring in Tarek Masoud, who facilitated that discussion with Kushner. He's a professor of democracy and governance at Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government. Thank you for being here. Given what you heard from Kushner last year, what was your reaction when you heard President Trump propose this idea of a Gaza takeover?
You know, I have to say I was surprised to hear President Trump float this idea of American ownership of Gaza. And the reason I was surprised is because it seemed to fly in the face of what I thought was one of the president's core foreign policy commitments, which was not to get the United States into very difficult entanglements abroad. I mean, remember, President Trump was a very strong critic of the Iraq War. So for him to be proposing this is very unusual. Now, you know, you started with that clip from my conversation with Jared Kushner, and I guess the implication could be that this idea was clearly in the air about a year ago when I had my conversation with Mr. Kushner. But we were actually talking about something a little bit different. We were talking about an impending Israeli assault on the Gazan city of Rafah and what would be done with the Palestinians who were sheltering there from the Israeli bombing. And the one proposal that had been offered by multiple sources was that they would go to Egypt, that the Egyptians should accept the Gazans while Israel is mounting this campaign. And the Egyptians refused to do that. And so Kushner was proposing another option, which was to create a safe zone in the Negev desert, which is part of Israel, for Gazans. And then you saw he ended that discussion by saying that nobody is saying that the people of Gaza would not go back. And that was in response to a question I asked. I said, look, everybody thinks that once Gazans leave Gaza, Netanyahu will never let them back in. And so he addressed that point by saying that that was not what he was talking about. But of course, President Trump's statements the other day put all of this in a very different light.
Doctor and Professor, I don't know which salutation you prefer, but many world leaders say
Tarek.
Come on, you worked hard for those titles. All right, so,
okay.
Seriously, though, many world leaders say they remain supportive of a two-state solution. So at this moment in time, in your opinion, is that a realistic possibility?
You know, I do myself retain some hope for a two-state solution, but here's what I do know. We have now an American president who just is not bound by any of the old certainties or any of the old formulas. So it seems pretty clear to me that President Trump at least is willing to entertain arrangements in Israel, Palestine, and the broader Middle East that are unlike anything that we've ever thought about before. So does that mean that the two-state solution is less likely? I don't know. It certainly means that we have an American administration that is not as wedded to the two-state solution as some of the other administrations have been.
Professor Dr. Tarek Masoud, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.